I don't think that we're reaching our maximum potential as veterans. And that's what frustrates me. It's got to be frustrating to the point where it's almost a double-edged sword, because we ourselves put ourselves in those positions where we're wearing the paraphernalia, we're wearing the apparel that supports this negative ideology, when in fact, not all of us believe that we are that same person anymore. Post-service commitment, we have a bunch of veterans that are still stuck in the past. You know, whatever accolades we have achieved, whatever goals we have met, that's not the end of the road. It shouldn't be the end of the road. As something like being a veteran and having that military experience should be a platform or a foundation for something much bigger. A lot of us get caught up in the Al Bundy syndrome. You know, I threw 4 touchdown passes in a half of a football game to win the high school championship or whatnot. And then that's just not conducive to chasing the dream and being a better version of yourself for your family, for your wife. I mean, your wife deserves to have the best version of yourself. Your children deserve the best version of yourself. Your family deserves the best version of yourself. Your community deserves the best version of yourself. You know, I don't know when it happened or when this change has happened, but, you know, just like things change, are always changing, you know, because we all know that life is cyclic. So whatever's coming through did not come to stay, it comes to pass. You know, when I get caught up in the whole trying to figure this thing out, I start to realize that the Renaissance period and the Baroque period, and they all have their different changes in music and art, lyrics, and in styles. The same thing's happening here. But I don't know when the veteran culture decided to make veteran and veteran issues cause for sympathy or cause for concern, that veterans are no longer heroes. They're listed as potential Unabombers or ticking time bombs. The civilian sector or the civilian population, they don't know any better. So the fact that we are providing the companies that are veteran run the opportunity to keep them afloat by perpetuating this type of ideology where you want to be a dysfunctional veteran, you want to be a aggressive veteran. I'm here to be a dangerous veteran. To who? To who are you dangerous to? To the people that are around you? Aren't they the same people that you went overseas and deployed and saw combat to defend? Doesn't make any sense, does it? I didn't think so. But all in all, I hope that one day we all soon realize that we're no longer in the Army, we're no longer in the Air Force, we're no longer in the Marine Corps, or the Navy, or even the Coast Guard for that matter. We're all just veterans. This simplistic manipulation of the mind that a lot of us go through in the military is that once we're in the military, we'll always be in it. And to some degree, they do put enough of a emphasis on certain things that become your core values. But at the same time, we're not seeing those core values translate into our civilian lives. And that's the sad part. That's the unfortunate part for a person who's so self-motivated, disciplined, has integrity, believes in honor, loyalty, respect, is on the front page of the news after shooting up people, innocent people at a San Antonio Lackland Air Force Base. Whatever it is, the missing factor or the missing link in between these things that happen are the fact that once we get out post-service commitment, we're not seeking each other out. This isn't something that cannot be fixed, ladies and gentlemen. This is something that we have chosen not to fix. If we were losing 22 brothers and sisters every day in Iraq, wherever we're at, wherever we're deployed to, the Gulf, wherever, Afghanistan, wherever it's at, if we were losing 22 every day, I'm sure you guys wouldn't allow that, right? We'd all find a way to get together and figure out the problem. But the fact that it's happening here stateside, it becomes somebody else's problem. I'm gonna play devil's advocate for a second. I know this is gonna upset some Marines, but you know, so be it. It's not about your feelings. At the end of the day, it's about getting the solution to this soldier suicide epidemic that has plagued our veteran culture. The enrollment or the veteran volunteer numbers are not going up. The veteran nonprofit organizations that are being developed are not going up. The only thing that's going up is the number of veteran suicides that are happening every day in this country. And I don't understand it. And I want somebody to explain that to me, because at the end of the day, that whole mentality of once a Marine, always a Marine, okay. If that's the case, then where are the core values that made you a United States Marine? How are they being transferred into the next chapter of your life when the veteran enters civilian life, to be able to put those things into practice, to be the better person or to be the best that you can be? Well, that's Army. My point is that we're losing transitional situation where we bring everything we learned in the military into civilian life. And then on top of that, we're going to claim to have it, yet allow our brothers and sisters to drop like flies every day, 22 times a day of every month in this year. While I'm making this video, we're going to have lost 22 brothers and sisters at the end of the summer. Every 30 minutes, we have a veteran attempt suicide. Why? It's not because he's got a bunch of brothers and sisters around him giving him support, right? It's not because he's involved in his veteran community that he doesn't have time to think about his negative things, right? What it is that we become isolated. And instead of hooting and hollering 4 times out of the year, Marine Corps Birthday, Veterans Day, Armed Services Day, and Memorial Day. We need to be veterans every day for one another. Being a veteran comes with a certain amount of responsibility that you owe to your community. You're supposed to be a beacon of light, an example at your job, something that people look up to, something that people want to emulate, not somebody they want to escape from. How is it that we forget everything we're trained at our convenience? We're only 3% of the population. When we start to try to develop these efforts to try to figure out some of these problems and fix the homelessness issues, the hunger issues, suicide issues that affect and are plaguing the veteran communities, all of a sudden groups start popping up all over social media. And what are they talking about? Marines only helping Marines, Navy only helping Navy, Army for Army, Air Force for Air Force. Well, let me tell you something, man. We better get off that bullshit boat real quick, because at the end of the day, it's sinking. Because at best, 3% against 97% doesn't make any sense. Even if we were full tilt, all in, all 3%, how are we going to convince our local government and our local elected leaders and our state leaders and our national leaders to put in the programs that we need to get better if we fight amongst each other? I'll let you sink your teeth into that for a little bit. You know, the fact is, as a combat medic, I was not trained to identify somebody who was hurt and say, hey, oh, you're Army? Oh, shoot, my bad. I'm looking for Air Force guys that are hurt. It's not the way it works. And you all know that. Why we have chosen to do that to one another makes no sense whatsoever. Post-service commitment, we're supposed to be safer. We're supposed to be, out of harm's way. So why is it that we're more in harm's way stateside? I'll let you dig into that one for a little bit. At the end of the day, we need to figure it out. And I think that the sooner we figure it out, the better we're all going to be. I don't mean to bring anybody down or try to make anybody feel bad. But I do want to tell you this. All of these things better change. And they better change soon. Not because I said so, because we want it to change. Forever our brother's keeper, right? No man gets left behind. It all seems kind of hypocritical, don't it? We're leaving ourselves behind. Come stateside, 42 times a day, 30 times a month, every month of every year, since 1993. Almost 200,000. Just something to think about. It's really something we all need to think about as a unit.